The Don Garber, who we talked about, Mosse, earlier in the show, he's had a lot to say, and it's the opening week of the season, so you expect him to be out there talking about things. We also mentioned the referee situation, which he is dealing with right now, and how he praised our comments and what we were talking about when it came to the fact that it's gone very, very well. But also, Don Garber was in the news a few days ago talking about Messi and the fascination and what he feels like is a oversaturation when it comes to Messi. And he said, quote, "It's easy and somewhat lazy for reporters to just write about Messi. It's like writing about Taylor Swift. There's so much more here that I think people need to recognize." Now, I understand what Commissioner Don Garber is saying. He has a responsibility, and I think he has a desire to point out the fact that there are incredible stories, both on and off the field, when it comes to Major League Soccer as it kicks off its 29th season in the year 2024 here. However, in the same way that a few months ago when our U.S. Women's National Team captain Lindsey Horan took a shot at the fans, this is unnecessary. Especially since if anybody is both responsible and doubling and tripling down on Messi coverage, it's Don Garber and MLS, and certainly when it comes to their partner, Apple. And it's exactly what you should do. Last night, Messi scored a goal. That goal ended up tying the game, and he scored it right at the death, and he played the star. And that moment is viral. It goes around the world. People will watch it simply because it is Messi. Producer Sean, anybody worth their weight that works in our industry understands what rates, understand what clicks, understands what gets people to subscribe, and understands what brings people into that tent. And Messi is often at the very, very top of that. So when Don Garber calls out media and calls out reporters and calls out writers for being lazy because they are talking about not just one of the greatest players ever to play the game, who happens to be playing in Major League Soccer, the league in which they were reporting on, but one of the most famous people on earth, it's a little rich. It's a little rich from Don Garber. And again, I know that he respects the media out there, and he better, because guess what? There's not enough of them out there. And most of these men and women, they work their ass off day in and day out, many to tell the stories that Don Garber is talking about, whether he realizes it or not. And I think he does. But whether he realizes it or not. And to lump everybody in together and to call them lazy. If you are a member of the media out there that works your ass off day in and day out to literally spread the gospel of soccer, and in this case, MLS, and the commissioner is calling you lazy because you're talking about Messi, that's a no-go for me. And again, it's a unforced error and an unnecessary type of hit to, to talk about the people, the very people that are going to spread that gospel and do it for very little money and very little attention and certainly very little fame out there. I mean, that's just not a good look. And it will come and go. And again, I know he was probably trying to say, look at all these different stories out there. Those stories will get told, but Don Garber's been in the business of sports longer than most people. And he knows what sells. And he knows that stars sell. And he knows in this particular case, you better mind that. And mind that product that is Messi. And MLS is doing it day in and day out. Go look at their website. Go look at the video that they put out. Go look at their social media. Go look at everything else. And yes, they're telling the other stories out there, but there's only so much bandwidth that people have. There's only so much time and resources that people have out there. And so I don't blame a single person out there for looking at Messi and saying, you know what? That's what people want to read. That's what people want to see. That's what people will be attracted to. And using it and recognizing the value out there of what Messi is doing. And I think Don Garber in this case would probably take back what he said about people being lazy to reporters out there. Or who knows? Maybe he's smarter than everybody, and it was designed to get people like me and others to feel offended, to get riled up, and to talk about it here. And that will maybe force some of those other stories out there. Those stories will be played. But right now, it's about Messi. Mosse, anything before we go?
MLS did a seminar here at Fox a couple weeks ago. You and I attended, as did Sean Sullivan. Yep. And yeah, the way their marketing people are framing it is come for the GOAT and stay for all the other stories. So they want to use Messi to attract new viewers, but then they hope that they see other things in MLS they like, so that even when Messi leaves a couple of years from now, that they'll remain MLS fans.
Yeah. I mean, why was the first game and the only game of the 2024 season to kick off, why did it feature Messi? Why did it feature Inter Miami? Why, Commissioner, were you at the Messi game last night?
Now, when we had Taylor Twellman on, the first couple of questions we asked him weren't Messi related, and he even said that's refreshing, because the people who do cover MLS, they do feel like he's taking a lot of the oxygen out of the room.
It's because it's Messi. This is what you signed him for. So milk it for all it's worth. Because guess what? It's not going to last forever. I hope it lasts at least through 2026. It might not. Messi might say, forget it. See ya. Goodbye. You like that clip? Well, my State of the Union podcast drops twice a week right here on my very own YouTube page. The only way to stay up to date is to hit that subscribe button down below. Size the day, and see you soon.